What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. And on today's episode, unfortunately, we got another loss to break down. We'll also be going into the post-game conferences from both Billy Donovan and Patrick Williams, and some of the things that they said there may be concerning for some people. It may be more enlightening for some. We'll see all about that. We'll get into it. And we'll also talk about what are the Bulls' chances of building any type of momentum in the final two games of the regular season before they head into the playoffs. We'll get into more. We'll get into all that and some more right after the intro.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
Like, I don't know, you just get to a point where it's like, like it's enough, and you're battling. Like someone said, what are you competing for? You're competing for everything. On every single possession, you're competing on the screen. Okay, you're competing to get out there and contest. You're competing on the glass. You're competing. Everything is that. And when it can't be, I forgot to get back in transition. I lost sight of my man. I forgot to block out. I was a silly foul. I left my feet. Like those things inevitably add up over a period of time. And you can't get by on that. There's got to be like precision and concentration, focus, and this like just this intense focus. And we've got to get that. And I don't feel like we have that.
Okay, Bulls fans. So this team, man. If anyone who was around for my post-game live stream, you got to see a hell of a show. I kind of went off. It kind of is what it is there. I was frustrated. I was frustrated by this team, frustrated by the lack of effort. Just everything. It's literally every aspect of the game I was frustrated by. But, the reason why I started this show off after the intro from that clip from Billy Donovan is because, hearing him say that, saying things like, hey, man, I just lost him on the screen. Hey, I just didn't like that. That's not what you want to hear from a team heading into the playoffs, a team at this point of the season. These are kinks and things that you want to get out of your system well before the postseason. And the fact that we are going into the postseason with this we've only had 7 wins. 7 since the All-Star break. 7 while over 20 losses. Listen, that in no way, shape, form does that get it done. This team's toughness is being questioned, their mental fortitude is being questioned, and even hearing things like from Patrick Williams after the game, and I'll play some of his post-game conference as well. But just everything with this team right now, there's just not a positive feeling. It's not. And this should be the point, and I've said it earlier in the season, like this should be the point where we know who this Bulls, and we very well may know who this team is. This team is not, like, it's just, the lack of intensity sucks. And you can't just blame it on Limes. You can't blame it on any one thing. The coaching has a lot to do with it as well. The the players have a lot to do with it as well. It's not all Nikola. For anyone who's going to leave a comment talking about it's not just Nikola Vucevic. Just trading Nikola Vucevic does not fix all of these issues either. Looking at this team and where they sit right now, heading into the playoffs, woo! I don't know if I've ever been as down on a team that has a locked-in playoff seed. I just don't know if I've ever a Bulls team that's ever been locked in, right? Not a Bulls team that's going down the stretch, they're still trying to qualify for that 8 seed or something like that. But being this down on a team that has a playoff spot locked the hell in, I don't know when's the last time I've been frustrated. This game against the Boston Celtics, they just got completely outclassed. We see 2 games in a row now where the other team just does not take the Chicago Bulls seriously. They don't look at him as a threat. They don't look at him as it's a night off very much for a lot of people. I do like what Patrick Williams talked about, and he held himself accountable as well in his post-game interview. He talked about how his confidence gets to him, especially when it got to him in this game specifically against Brown and Tatum at times. One of the interviewers also asked, you don't hear a lot of professional athletes say that, and it's absolutely true. But I'm going to play a little bit of Patrick Williams post-game now as well. Let's go ahead and get into that.
Kind of like I said, being physical, setting that tone from the jump. I think sometimes we come back, we come out, I should say, lackadaisical sometimes. I think, like I said, play physical, communicate, and everything else will take care of itself. Like we have a team where we're so talented offensively. Offensive will take care of itself. We move the ball, cut hard, play for one another. That'll take care of itself with the guys that we have. But defensively, I think we have to lock in defensively. I think I can be a big part of that. Just with my size, athleticism, length. I could be a huge part of that for sure. But I mean, we have to be better defensively.
And this is one of the things that have been frustrating me for this team for quite a while. It's like anytime you hear them, they know what the issue is, but why? Like, especially when the issue is focus, intensity, effort. Those are things that you can control every single night in and night out. The effort you can control, right? If you get completely beat giving great effort, hey, listen, you gave everything you had, you didn't have enough. This team is not, this effort is not seen. Did they run out of steam? The questions like that people ask. I understand it. It's frustrating right now to be a Chicago Bulls fan. This game against Boston, I wrongly, you guys know, I am not one to hesitate at all to admit when I'm wrong. I didn't think the Bulls would win this game, right? I think even in the post game, in my pre-recorded video yesterday, I said, I'm not predicting the Bulls to win. I'd be crazy at this point to predict the Bulls to win, but I did think, hey, if any team that is our potential matchup, I think we match up well. I was wrong. I said, I think we match up well against, I was wrong. I was wrong. Now, could that still change? Yeah, but it could all be about for nothing right now because this Bulls team seems like they're destined to face Milwaukee. And listen, if I was Milwaukee, I'd be licking my chops to play the Chicago Bulls right now in the first round, and that is sad. Where this team is at right now, like I said, doesn't feel good, doesn't feel positive. It's hard to take really any positives out of the way that the Bulls have been playing. Patrick Williams, while he was putting together a lot of good games in this game, he could not stay out of foul trouble. He had 3 fouls, I think, in the first quarter. By 2 minutes into the second quarter, had 4. He was playing with foul trouble the whole game. Like maybe that's part of what got into his head. All of that, this just does not feel good. Now, the question has been asked. The question was presented also to Billy Donovan. Can this team try to build any type of momentum heading into the playoffs with these last 2 games? I really don't know how much momentum you can build with 2 games left. I'm not saying that it's outside of the realm of possibility. I just don't know. I don't know what type of momentum that can be built, especially when you look at it with, all right, it's 2 games, right? Let's even say that the Bulls come in and they blow out the next 2 opponents in the Hornets and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Let's say they do that. But then they have a week off. Now, something could be said to going into a week off because of the play-in tournament, and going in with some momentum and having a week of practices with that type of momentum, with that type of vibe to build your confidence. Something could very well be said to that. But with this team and what they've shown, I'm not ready to bet on that at all. Some people have asked in the comments and in emails, what can the Bulls, especially with the excitement of the playoffs, build anything, right? Can we see a switch flipped because it's the playoff, because it's the bright lights? Could we see that be done? I don't know if I'm willing to say that right now. With the way that this team has looked, I don't know if I'm willing to say that I can see them all of a sudden flipping a switch. Because this team, like if you look at them, their body language, the lack of effort, the lack of matching intensity, the lack of any type of pride with getting punched in the face repeatedly. Because of those things, I can't say that I see this team being able to all of a sudden flip a switch. Now, I'd be happy, more than happy to be wrong. If the Bulls could prove me wrong with that, it would make me one of the happiest Bulls fans on the planet. But I'm not willing to say, I'm not willing to bet on that. I'm not willing to call that. It would be illogical for me right now to say that I can see the Chicago Bulls doing that, or that I would expect the Chicago Bulls to do that. Anything is possible. But I wouldn't expect it. I would not expect it right now. Maybe some of you guys are. Let me know down below. How do you guys feel about the chances that the Chicago Bulls can build any type of momentum that could be sustained going into the first round of the playoffs? I just don't know, man. I really don't know what to say about this team. I don't know what to say about the effort that they gave last night. They might as well have given DeMar and Zach LaVine the night off. Honestly, I would have rather them give DeMar and Zach LaVine the night off, and then I could use that as a reason for why we saw the effort that we saw. Right? This is bad. Now, one thing to point out, Derrick Jones Jr. seems to be back in the rotation. Good, because he needs to be. And early in that game, his effort was evident. It was evident, and it was needed. I hope to see that continue. I know some people were hoping to see Marco. I don't think we're going to see Marco much. I've already talked about why I think Marco was called up. But overall, right now, this team, this effort, it's sad. It's depressing. It's not indicative of what we saw early in the season. It's not really indicative at all of prideful professional athletes. It's just not. It's just not. I know some people are going to take issue with that. I know some people took issue with the post-game stream and how the vitriol I came out against with the players' effort. But hey, that's what it is. That's how I feel. And this has always been a reflection of my true and honest feelings about where the Chicago Bulls stand. And right now, it does not feel good watching this team. Now, we'll see over the course of the weekend what this team can and can't do. I have a preview video tomorrow that drops. Also, you guys know Saturdays are mainly built around your voicemail, so we'll get into the mailbag. Whoa, tomorrow's not Saturday. Wow. I'm really trying to skip ahead. That's how bad it is. I am trying to skip ahead because I'm tired of seeing the Bulls play this way. But tomorrow's Friday, so I'll get into the preview of that game against the Hornets tomorrow. And I hope that this team sees the things that we see. I hope that they're getting frustrated by the same things we're getting frustrated at by fans looking at their effort. And I hope Billy Donovan's words and what he coaches this team and how hopefully he calls out some of these players matches that post-game interview that he gave. But continue to let me know what you guys think about everything down below. The Bulls, their playoff chances, everything. Let's continue to talk about it. We are going to be preparing to do a live hangout on Sunday for everyone who wants to join to watch and be a part of during the last game against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So be on the lookout for that on Sunday. But that's it for me for today. Make sure you follow the podcast at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullscentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text or a voicemail for that Saturday mailbag episode that's coming, you can do so at 773-270-2799. That is it for me for today. You guys probably not tonight. Maybe we'll see. We may do a crisis hotline again. But that is it for me for today, guys. I love you guys. Go Bulls. See red, don't be red. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.